guys, welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe that it is November 1st, which means we are exactly 60 days until 2025. And today I had that realization. I was like, oh my God, like I have 60 days to get my life in order. Now, as someone who works for themselves, I have a long list of goals and things I want to accomplish. And I revisited them yesterday. So I was like, all right, I want to really look at them before my day one of 60 days and kind of see where I'm at. And to be completely frank and honest with you, I'm not where I wanted to be. And I think that really comes down to the way I lived the first half of 2024. And that's why we're gonna change the next 2 months of 2024 to end on a good note and to start 2025 even better. Because honestly, I feel like I wanna be the best version of myself next year. And I know I can do it. Like, I know that it's possible. And if you're watching this video and you're like, I need to get my life in gear, whether you work for yourself, whether you don't work for yourself, you have a career, maybe you want to quit your job, maybe you want to move abroad, maybe you want to move to a new city, maybe you just need the inspiration to figure out how the hell to make next year even better and to also end a good way in 2024. This is a video for you because I want to share some things that honestly have changed, like just changed me in the past few weeks alone. And have really set me up in a good spot to now end the rest of the year and what I'm going to continue doing for the next 2 months, because I think New Year's resolutions are amazing, yes, but they are useless if that's the only time you do them. If on January 1, you open that journal and you write down your goals, or the first week and you hold the whole session to yourself of just exploring what you want and writing it down and creating all these things, and then you never look at it again, it's useless. Or if you don't even think about it leading up to 2025 or to January 1, and it's just that, all right, this is what we do. In January, we write down our yearly goals. We try and wish for the best year coming, but I'm not doing anything leading up to that. And I'm not doing anything, to help change it throughout. These are just my goals. I'm just writing down my goals and we're gonna get there. Wrong, not gonna happen. And I think for me, when I changed my life, like when I quit my job and I moved abroad and I decided to work online and went through that whole massive life change, there were some big things that I was doing daily that really helped me even make that happen. And I'm not saying like, oh, take a course, blah, blah, do these things. Like there were certain things that I was doing that helped me to be the best version of myself and be the person who actually accomplished their dreams. So maybe you're watching this video because you come from my channel, because you want to be a digital nomad, you're aspiring, or you live abroad, but you're trying to figure out life in general already right now. Or maybe this is a brand new time and you're new to my channel and you're like, what are you even talking about? So brief little synopsis, I'm Christina. I live in Barcelona. I've been living abroad for the past 5 years. Quit my job 5 years ago in 2019. And I started working, I went for medical device sales and I had my biology degree from university. And now I am working as a podcast management strategist. And I help people, basically US companies, with their educational podcasts to market them online. And that is the business I've been running for the past 3 years. So to give you a little idea of like where I went to and where I'm at now, and still now I'm like, okay, cool. Like I've obviously done those things, it's amazing, but there are way bigger levels that I want to hit and we're going to do it. So we're going to become the best version of ourselves together, guys. We're going to hold ourselves accountable, and I'm going to create another video in December, kind of going back and revisiting where I'm at and where I'm going and my new thoughts, and then January. And we're going to keep going together, and you guys can share in the comments what your goals are for the rest of the year or your goal for 2025 that you're trying to set yourself up for. If you're feeling the same way and want to do the same thing, let's do it together. So let's talk about one of the first things that really set me into motion for this whole kind of end of the year fall reset. I listened to a Mel Robbins podcast, and I'll drop the link down below, that honestly it struck a chord with me, and I'm telling you, it's something you need to listen to. And the episode is called How to Get Ahead of 99% of People in 4 Months. And what they talk about on this podcast is the fact that statistically, most people actually are the most successful in implementing change in the fall. And I was like, I wonder why that is. And she goes on to explain it, and it made so much sense. As kids, we grew up, we go to school, we have summer off, and then we go back to school in September time for everyone, just school year wise. And that is a reset. It's a new year. It's a new school year. It's a new year. Like everything that happened prior to that, even though it's in the same calendar year when you're a kid, is kind of washed away. It's like this new reset. Even for parents, even for adults, sometimes after summer, it's like, all right, we get the end of the year, we kind of move into a next chapter. But if you use that as the way to actually start implementing change, then the statistics of people who actually started accomplishing their New Year goals was so much higher because they started in this fall reset. And obviously we're in November now, so we're not at September, but there's no reason you can't have the same mindset going into the end of the year. We don't need to start at January 1. We can start in November. We can start in the first week of November, and we can actually start implementing these changes to make sure we're setting ourselves up for the best. I really highly suggest listening to the episode. It just made so much sense, and it just really clicked in terms of it's so true. It's like the leaves are turning, things are changing. It's a new season, and it's still fall. It's not winter yet. It's still fall. We can still have this new season and start making changes. So what we're gonna do to start is I want you guys to get a piece of paper because I have already done this. And I want you to write down really specific on what you want. And what I mean is I want you to actually write down exactly the goals you have, but I want them to be specific. So when I was writing down my goals, I don't write down like I want to have financial independence. Cool. No, I want to make $20,000 a month. I want I want a number associated with it. I want a time frame associated with it. When you actually start writing down things that are really specific, you can kind of wire it into your brain to work towards that goal subconsciously. And although it might sound crazy, it is so true. I used to write down before I moved abroad. I literally wrote out multiple times my dream day in life and exactly what that looked like. And guess what? That came true almost to a T. And it's crazy and scary, but it's like when you start to write it down and you start to see it in front of you, write it on Post-it notes, have them around your house, have one in your office, do a vision board, get a nice big piece of poster board, maybe this weekend if you have nothing going on, and just cut up the different things you want and write down your goals and have them in board. You can build a little visual board of what you actually want. Whatever you need to do to have it in front of you. Some people put it on the back of their computer screen. Some people have it on their lock screen on their phone. I want you to see those goals visible. I don't just want you to write them down in a journal, close the journal, next time you open it, you move on to the next page. No, I want these to be visible somewhere. And I want you to think about them daily because I want them to be ingrained in your brain. So for me personally, my ingrained thoughts in my brain is I really want to hit 5,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. That's like my goal. I wouldn't say for the end of the year, but that's my goal for the next 6 months. So I have a goal of in 6 months, I want to hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yes, it's a big goal. Yes, I know, but I'm setting big goals for myself because I have big dreams and I don't believe in thinking small. It just doesn't really make sense. So we're going to set big dreams. Obviously, I could say 100,000 subscribers. That's probably a little bit harder to do in the span of a year and maybe less obtainable. So let's get something that's big, but still kind of doable, even if it's on that bigger side. And you're like, oh, I'm not really sure. Still write it down. We can do it. We're going to put that into the brain. So that is one of my goals. One of my other goals is that I want to travel to 15 new countries next year. And that might sound crazy, but I also think living in Europe, it's very feasible to do because so many countries are really close together. And I really want to prioritize travel because I honestly realized that for me, traveling is what lights me up. Like that is the thing that brings me true joy, passion, happiness. Like I don't feel the same way I feel doing other things than when I do when I'm traveling. So that's a big goal for me. And I'm going to break down exactly the countries that I would like to go to and I'm going to plan it. And I'm gonna get specific on when I wanna go and what I wanna do. And I am not a super planner, but when it comes to goals, we're planning because we are getting that in our brains and we are letting it fully sink in. One thing that I know people have done before is like in their bathroom mirror, depending on how your bathroom set up and if you need your aesthetics or not. But some people put Post-it notes, like a couple Post-it notes on the side of their mirror that they see every day for their goals they want to hit. And it's just something that's visual in front of them. So I want you to get specific. I want you to be visual. And that way you can help to just let it really sink in and work on it daily and you don't ever forget. So let's write down 5. Like I said, for me, 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, and you guys can hold me accountable to this. 15 new countries, that's obviously more of a personal goal. My other goal is that I really want to build social media income stream to at least 5,000 a month, because I have my podcast management clients and that is my main income stream right now for my business, but I really want to build up social media to become another secondary stream of income. So I'd really love to do that. And then my 4th goal is that I want to be the healthiest version of myself. I have a specific kind of, I don't want to say a weight number in mind because that's really bad to hold yourself to a specific weight, but I have a goal in mind of what I'd like to hit and what I'd like to feel like and the things I'd be able to accomplish. And that means going to the gym weekly. That means really taking care of myself. And that means not letting myself gain the weight that I gained over the past, like honestly, year and a half. So I'm honestly really kind of working on that aspect of myself. And my last goal that I'm gonna mention here, I literally have a long list of other ones, but I really wanna start getting myself in positions and communities and groups of people that inspire me more. I wanna really expand my network. I wanna be in rooms with really like influential people. I truly wanna build a big business, whether it's online through social media or behind the scenes of social media, but I really want to become someone great. And I'm not saying that I can't be someone great now, but I really want to become that most badass version of myself. And I think that to me, a lot of that has to do with learning from other people and getting around other people. So I've been pushing myself out of my comfort zone to go to more networking events, even here in Barcelona. And I'm trying to join more groups and just get involved in things that bring me to people who I really can surround myself with, who lift me up and inspire me in a business way, in life ways, and I think that can really trickle out to the rest of your life. And although that might sound like a very broad goal when I was saying get specific, I know for me that means getting out of my comfort zone and going to networking events, reaching out to people on social media, meeting up with more people and just listening more and learning more. I've been reading so many personal development books and I listen to loads of podcasts all the time. And I think those are all important steps, but I want to create a better network for myself because I think you are who you surround yourself with. And with my big dreams and goals and aspirations for how I want my life to look, I want to be surrounded by people who also are doing the same thing. So it's really important to me to work on expanding my network and just learning from the people around me. So those are my 5 goals that I'm going to share with you guys just for accountability and to understand kind of where I'm at if you've been following my channel and kind of seeing the growth of things. But I think it's really important once you write down your goals and you have them specific to start working on how you can actually implement them. And this is where things can really change. And it's setting up your days to be the most productive possible. And I don't mean like, oh, we're gonna add an extra hour in, we're gonna wake up earlier. No, that's not what I mean. I mean actually structuring your time. Because if you realize most successful people are super busy, but they can add other things to their schedule still. And then there's people who are busy or you feel busy. I do this all the time. Like, I have such a busy day because I have client work to do today. Client work in general over the course of a few hours. I have client work to do today. I'm really busy and then I have something at night. When I start to add in my crazy days where I am like having events, I have this, I have that, and I have a bunch of stuff going on, I am the most productive when I really start to focus on where my time is going. So a few of these things will really help you and they've really transformed me so far. I'm gonna keep implementing them and stay with it. But obviously the best way to set yourself up in the morning is a good morning routine. And that means taking care of yourself. So commit for how many days you can actually go and see, and not even necessarily you need to lose weight, but just to feel better. My mental health is so much better since I started working out consistently. For me, it's 5 times a week because I really want to work on, like I said, my fitness. That's one of my goals. But in general, when I was going at least 3 to 4 times a week and getting my just momentum and movement in my body, I felt so much better. And outside of going to the gym, walking daily. And living in Barcelona, that makes it so much easier to do. Trust me, I know that. But if you are not living in a city or you're in America and it's very hard to walk just anywhere, go to the park, commit to it, walk in your neighborhood, put a podcast in and just go walking for 45 minutes. Those steps, not only will that help you actually lose weight if you're looking to lose any weight, you'll also see yourself get toned up, but it will just give you mental clarity. And when you're having a bad day or bad moment, go for a walk. I swear, going for a walk helps to clear my head so much. So we're moving. We're starting our day with movement. And then we're also going to set some sort of morning routine that you can actually commit to. For me, and something that definitely changed my life when I was in a really kind of pitfall moment while I was living abroad. I was kind of ending one business because I really didn't like it and I didn't know what to do or how I was going to pivot. And I was super nervous and scared. All I could commit to at that point was obviously learning and doing more. But at the same time, the other thing I really could commit to was filling my brain with positivity. And what I mean by that is I read a chapter every single morning. I meditated every morning and I journaled right after. Those three combination things have fully changed my life. I'm not even kidding. Even now, like in the past, I would say year and a half, I've been reading so much more. I listen to more. I obviously still watch my Netflix and I binge on the things I want to, but I really prioritize filling my time or my down moments with things that are kind of educational or self-development or can help me learn more. My mom honestly has said, and she said this to me multiple times for the past few months, she's like, you've changed as a person. Like you are so much more calm, you're level-headed, you have such a great outlook on life and business and all these things, and I know you're gonna go far. And she's like, what have you done? And I've told her kind of my routine and stuff. She's like, yeah, I can totally tell. I can fully tell that there's a difference in you. And I feel it, to be honest. And that's why we are thinking big, we're dreaming big. This is my current book right now, The Magic of Thinking Big. I just think when you're reading books like these, because these are from people who have done the things you want to do, they created a good life for themselves. They're sharing all their tips, they're sharing everything, their knowledge. Knowledge is power. And I think learning all that stuff is so helpful. And then journaling just your thoughts. And it doesn't have to always be structured. Like you can obviously always do what you want to get done for the day, your goals, what you're grateful for is always a really important thing. But sometimes brain dumps. I do brain dumps in my journals and they just help to kind of release the thoughts in my brain. They're out on the paper and they're out there and then I can move on. And I think those are super important things you can definitely add into your morning and day just to set yourself up really well. One tip that I definitely have that really helped me to prioritize my day is time blocking. I'll show you guys a picture of what my calendar looks here, but I will block out literally every hour to 2 hours, and that way my brain is focusing on that one specific task. If I have a to-do list of 10 things to do in the day, I don't go one by one, and maybe you're better than me and maybe you can get it done, but my ADHD brain can literally not. So if I have a list of 10 things to do, I might get done 5 of them throughout the day, and then the next ones move over to the next day, and then the ones that didn't happen the next day, and I'm not fully getting my full potential work done. When I time block out and I'm like, all right, I have 2 hours to do this, 1 hour to do that, half an hour to do that, and I work through my time block, game changer. I am so productive, it's insane. And I honestly think it's the best thing that you can do for yourself, especially if you're scatterbrained like me. That is just an amazing, amazing tool. And lastly, the one thing that I definitely changed was prioritizing my goals over the short-term things I wanted. So obviously on the weekend, I would love to just go to dinners and go do this and do that and go out and just whatever. But the reality is I need to use the most amount of time I possibly can towards my goals if I have these big dreams. So of course, time off and doing things that make you happy and you enjoy is mega important, but it's also mega important to make sure you're prioritizing your goals. So that might mean limiting your social activities on the weekend, picking 1 or 2 things to do, and then the rest of the time actually being productive and using your weekends as an advantage. Especially if you work a 9 to 5 and you don't have a lot of time during the week to work on your goals, your weekends are your advantage. You have those 2 days to really work on it. And obviously you don't want to burn yourself out with your corporate job and then doing stuff on the weekend and never having time off, but prioritize. Maybe it's a couple hours, maybe it's 3 hours on a Saturday. Maybe it's 2 hours on a Sunday morning. Maybe it's a full Saturday. And then Sunday you can do whatever you want. Whatever it might be, prioritize your goals. We're also in winter. Like less things are happening. There's less social events going on usually. There's less pressure to do things. So use it to your advantage. And sometimes maybe limit the alcohol consumption. And me, for someone who was the party girl, that was a hard pill to swallow. But when I started to limit my alcohol consumption in terms of like going out and just getting drunk on the weekends repeatedly every weekend, I would wake up, I'd be a little hungover, I'd be tired. Maybe if I wasn't hungover, I was just groggy and I didn't really do much. And then I'd end up going out for brunch and just had a couple more drinks. And before I know it, it was Sunday night and Monday morning was coming and I was like, fuck, I didn't do what I wanted to do. So maybe limit that consumption or be smarter about how you prioritize your time. But honestly, I think those things will really, really, really help you change the next 2 months, which you absolutely can do to make 2025 the best year it can be. And these are all small changes that add up a lot and can really, really change your life. It can change your job, it can change your financial situation, it can change your mental health, your happiness, everything. So if you guys want to join me in this challenge of working through our goals, holding ourselves accountable, building a vision board, writing them down out for us, going to the gym, getting our steps in, time blocking our days, sharing our goals with other people. That's something I actually didn't touch on yet. But one thing I definitely recommend is to find people who are also looking to build their lives up. And if you don't have them in your current physical circle, find them online, DM me. Find people who are doing things that you want to do, and or go find them Facebook groups, whatever it might be, and support each other, share your goals, hold each other accountable. Because then you'll talk to somebody who also gets what you're going through, gets a desire to be better. So share your goals, drop them in the comments if you want, and we can all talk about them and kind of hold each other accountable that way as well. But as I said, I'm gonna be sharing my updates in December and January for where I'm at and the things I've been learning. I think I might also go over my top books from this year because I've read about 7 or 8 books so far, and share my top things that have really just impacted me so much and people need to hear. So if you're gonna take one thing away from this, it is that we are prioritizing our best version of ourselves because we can be that. Just show up as that and things will change. Remind yourself when you're groggy and you're tired and you don't feel like doing it. Think about that 2.0 version of you who already has that and what they would do, and they probably get their ass out of bed and they probably go and do it. So just remind yourself what and why you're doing this. And we're gonna make these next 2 months, these next 60 days, this will come out probably a few days into November, but these next few weeks of the last of 2024 to make our 2025 freaking amazing, and we're gonna do it together. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any update videos or any of the other videos that I have up and coming. We got vlogs, we got some tax information, more life abroad stuff, making friends, all of that kind of goodness. So make sure you subscribe, join the community. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments or send me a DM on Instagram. I always love talking to you guys, and I'll catch you next video. Bye.